What's up guys, it's Ryan with D and this is the Stark Varg. Let's check it out.
All right, everybody, we're testing the Stark Varg out here at Highland Off-Road Resort here in Cedartown, Georgia.
Alright guys, so the Stark Varg. Well, just so everybody knows, this is not my Stark Varg. This is actually one that's rented from KTM World. So yeah, if you want to know how these things are actually going to hold up, this thing has definitely been road hard and hung up wet, at least in my opinion. Still looks rather clean. Obviously it's a newer bike, but really tell on the seat and stuff is definitely deteriorating. It's actually just a nice rubber there, which normally I think would be really good, but definitely pulling away everything there. Obviously nice carbon. Huge battery. This is definitely solid. You can clearly see nice wear here, which is normal. Any bike's going to have that. Other than that, everything looks pretty good on it. Obviously, you got nice brakes on this particular bike. They definitely, I mean, according to all the money that you're actually going to get for this thing, it ought to be. So obviously they're, you know, sort of top of the line with the Brembos there. This is like a foam. I mean, it's obviously the protector for the battery and such there. Engine, just in case people don't know, actually liquid cooled. You got adjustments and everything for the suspension. So yeah, everything looks pretty good whenever it comes to that. So, and clearly this thing has different grips on it. Obviously you can go through different modes. It's kind of hard to see. This is a rental, so they normally rent this out. So it's everything's locked as far as passport protected, but you can go through modes. Obviously the has speedo and everything on it. Just a phone pops out. I'm sure everybody has seen that. Definitely wore out here. But yeah, it's just been through a lot because it's a rental, but kind of gives you an inkling of how they're gonna hold up. I mean, that, look how that flexes and everything right there. Just a piece over that area. So yeah, definitely a worn bike. Still rides pretty good for the most part, you know, getting it over here, but we're gonna actually see what it's gonna do as far as how it feels, particularly whenever I'm, you know, I know the Ultra B is a lot cheaper than this thing, but I really wanna know, is this thing gonna actually make me wanna sell my Ultra B and get one? So let's find out. This one obviously has the optional kickstand, which is a must. I'm 5'10", 155, so let's see how this thing is for me. This thing might have been lowered. It's a lot lower than I thought it would be. It's definitely lower than, say, a full-size bike like my YZ250 or even my KLX 300. I'm almost flat-footed. Either that or it's worn, but they might have lowered it just to make it, you know, where more people can ride it. Clearly see, you know, it is very thin, so easy to hug it. But yeah, I'm 5'10", 155, feels really stiff. Maybe it's a little softer than most, but it could be tuned for somebody that weighs a lot more than me. Let's take this thing for a ride. Here, it's been a really long time since I've been here. I can't even remember any of the trails, but let's check out this Stark Varg and see what we can do. We're just gonna do a whole lap around the main perimeter. So this video might be a little longer than some of the other ones, but you know, I'll kind of tell you what I think about it as I'm going the lap here, just to sort of tell you what I feel on this thing. And just sort of see how she does. So. This is just the entrance to the actual perimeter, so if any of y'all haven't been here, you know, you might can kind of get a inkling of what you're going to be getting into. Mud there. It's the Stark Varg, huh? Perimeter here. A lot of mud there. Real slippery. So right off the bat, obviously, just like everybody else, nose, a lot of power. Suspension's pretty good. Feels stiff, it can be adjusted, so not a huge deal, not a whole lot of play, but power for days. But that's the thing, whenever you're on the trails, you're not really gonna use a ton of it, but it's always nice to have it if you need it. Where am I going here? Let's see. Let's test the suspension here. Nice. Yeah, it feels pretty good. It's really narrow. Kind of freaked me out there. It sounded weird. Has like a fan on it. Whee! Alright, so this model obviously has the foot brake, no clutch. Unlike my Ultra B, if you've seen that video, where the clutch is, you actually have the back brake. I've kind of gotten used to that, to be honest with you. Whenever I ride it, I actually kind of like it, but it's to each his own. A lot of people don't. Oh yeah, good power there. Forgive me if I'm not taking this as fast as I would. I don't really know the trail anymore. What's the other side of this? That'd be a nice little jump, yeah. Yeah, all the power you want. This is on like a low setting of power. It's probably like, I mean, obviously, you know, this isn't the Alpha, so it can be up to 60 horsepower, which is like a 450. Feels pretty planted. A lot of mud. The thing I hate about this, tons of mud. So, again, I haven't ever rode one of these before, so I'm just going to kind of give you my first impressions, even if I get a lot of flack for it. Is it worth double the Ultra B? No, I don't think it is. Not for what I ride now, a track and stuff, probably. I mean, it's an awesome bike. If you got the money to spend, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, the suspension feels really good. This is the rental bike, I mean, like I've mentioned before. So she's got a lot of wear on it, and you can feel it. So I'm kind of tempted not to, you know, give a lot of flack for it. I mean, it definitely still feels awesome, but it sort of feels rickety, but I think it's because it's the rental bike that they give me. And it's definitely been used hard and hung up wet. A lot of mud there. You can obviously see it with all the use. I mean, it still has plenty of power, still working great. I don't like the foot brake. It sort of feels weird. It's kind of curved in. I don't know if it's actually bent. The suspension is better than the Ultra B, but it should be. I mean, this thing is double the price. The power is definitely a bit here. We got here, yep. Yeah, I mean, for these kind of trails, you really don't need a ton of power. I mean, the Ultra B's just as good. Of course, more experienced people can definitely harness the power a lot better than I can, but yeah, this thing, you would want it on a lower setting for single track trail riding anyway, but I just kind of keep going back to my Ultra B, to be honest. But if these were cheaper, definitely. Or maybe if they had a version that didn't have as much power that you could get a lot cheaper. I mean, I love the power, don't get me wrong, but I'm just trying to think of actual usable power. I don't really know what's around these corners. Obviously, you know, electric, I mean, nice and silent, so I really like that. Nice and bumpy. I mean, it's definitely soaking up the bumps. Very nice. All right, let me just get the price of this thing out of my head. That way I can give it a proper review. So, price aside, oh, what's on the other side of that hill? That would have been a cool jump. Price aside, this thing is awesome. Tons of power, tons of technology. They are heavy, but it doesn't feel heavy. I mean, if you compare it to like a rather large CC trail bike that would have nowhere near this power, it's gonna be a lot heavier than this thing anyway. So, doesn't feel heavy now. If I laid it over, I might feel the weight. Feels light. It's very narrow, like it's real skinny. Easy for me. Again, 5'10", 155 pounds. I can squeeze it, control it, and sort of, it really feels very balanced. It definitely feels more balanced than the Ultra B. Like, it feels really tossable. So with that, I mean, it's definitely a leg up when it comes to that. Yeah. Soaking it up. Very nice. Front end hit pretty hard right then. I mean, of course I didn't, it's probably adjusted rather soft, but if somebody was pretty heavy on here, that would have been a pretty hard hit. Very cool. I definitely recommend it. I mean, if you just want to spend the money, but if you're not just made of money like me, you know, the Ultra B, I'm gonna keep my Ultra B. I'll be honest. Like I really thought after I got this today, it would be one of those things that, oh, I have to have one, I'm gonna sell all my bikes to get it, but nah, I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but I'm not there. I'm not there so far, so great bike, taking the price in consideration, get you an Ultra B, put the controller on it, you're probably gonna be just as happy, because if I had my Ultra B today, I would be. If you're still with me, thank you so much for watching, so stay tuned for more, guys.